Loved your garden today. I have a southern evergreen magnolia planted as a baby, now reaches past my second story roof. I just love those. Their flowers are beautiful. Yes, I did cut my hair today. Marianne says, thanks for going above and beyond this week for the UFT. Marianne, anytime. I was a little shocked. Well, I guess I shouldn't be shocked, is what everyone's telling me. I guess I should say I'm disappointed that to read to read that Leroy Barr and Vinnie Gaglione, clearly under the leadership of Michael Mulgrew, put out a letter to Unity Caucus members, basically telling them to basically attack me and Jake at the RTC meeting the other day. He's a Stanford and Yale law grad, a very well respected and established attorney who knows what the hell he's doing. And Leroy and Vinny thought it would be okay to attack the lawyer. Shocking to me. And Michael Mulgrew let it happen. But I mean, it's like business as usual, right? I mean, you had Ellie, who's probably still on our Facebook page. Ellie was attacking me on social media as well. And they're all wrong, but they don't ever want to admit that they're wrong. So, we're just going to keep on calling them out because that's what we do. What is our page called? Debunking bullshit. We're just going to keep on doing it. The problem is they don't want to face up that they did what they did. And that's okay. When we walked into the United Federation of Teachers headquarters, they had to face the truth. And they didn't want to face it. And we represented the truth. So, not going to change that. And I'm very thankful that Bennett and his team invited us. Marianne says they are so afraid of you and Jake. Obviously, that Leroy had to put out this email to strategize how to attack me. Yeah. If you can't debate, you insult. Absolutely, Gerald. Carol says, beautiful tree for your mom. As for the Unity attack, I heard you handled them. I bet you got converts. Carol, I think we did because when Norm Scott wrote about what happened when clearly a Unity somebody sent a message, forwarded the email from Leroy to them. And I'll also tell you, we got it as well. So when the email came, that shows that there's cracks in the Mulgrew ship. So we're just going to keep plugging away. Remember what I said in the video the other day. You have to hold your leadership accountable. The union leadership must be accountable to you, the members. So give it a few more minutes because people are probably not expecting me to come on early, but I'll start in about 2 minutes more. Hopefully they post the video. I don't understand why they don't post the video of the meeting. That doesn't make any sense to me. Has Adrienne Adams softened her position on our new bill as compared to the last one? Will she permit our new bill to be processed through the city council? Well, Gerald, time will tell. And that's another reason why I posted that video that I posted today, which I'll get to in a little while. I don't know if her position's changed. She doesn't call me. Another one hiding from the truth. It's okay. I don't get insulted. It is what it is. You did get converts at UFT, says Marcia. After you and Jake left the room, someone got up to the microphone and asked how she could contribute to our organization. Also, people in my row had been unaware of the whole retiree advocate unity conflict, and they told me they were so glad they came in person. Obviously, they are with us. So, Marcia, thank you for sharing that. Marianne says, I emailed Justin Brannon this morning already. He did respond to tell me he's out of town and will get back to me. Well, Marianne, Justin's been out of town for a while. And we see the wording on the new bill. Howard, put in a Google search bar, and I'll make sure I email it out to you when I do the emails. If hopefully you're on our email list, go and put in the Google search bar, New York City Council legislation, and you'll get the legislation website. Type in 1096 and you'll see the legislation. It is basically the original bill that we put in, or very close to the original bill that we put in that Amanda Farias had killed back in early 23. But I'll make sure I put it in the newsletter. Will council members who previously sponsored our bill sponsor our new bill? I don't know, Gerald. I hope so. I mean, they all should be on it at this point. We've debunked every lie that they threw out last year. They hit us with so much bullshit last year, one lie after the other, one conspiracy after another, and we debunked them all. We kept throwing stuff back at them. But, hey, Scott. So we'll start working on strategy next week. But I needed to get back, and we're going to focus back on strategy, I think starting on Tuesday or Wednesday. Can you send me a private message when this is over? I really need help donating now that we cannot Zelle the money anymore. And I also do not get emails, even though I've been a member since the beginning. So Barbara, I'm going to try to remember to private message you, and I will check and see that why you're not getting our emails. But you might want to check spam, because I did put one out earlier this week about the rally on Wednesday. Janet says, someone at UFT RTC meeting asked you who was paying. You told her that the board are volunteers. I didn't. Oops. Where did that go? I didn't hear you say only the lawyers are being paid and who was paying them. I thought you lost an opportunity to put a plug in to say if anyone wanted to contribute. Well, actually, I did say that you can go to the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees at nycretirees.org and donate, Janet. You might have missed that part. But what you also, I'm assuming you're in California and you did not hear, you did not see what was going on in that room. So in trying to keep things temperate, I was being very cautious at monitoring the room, reading the room, and making sure that I was saying something to get the points across, but not more inflaming the fires, because you had some pretty crazy people in that room, which shocking to me are educators with master's and doctorate degrees were basically batshit crazy. And not recognizing that 10 judges between the Supreme Court and the appeals court said that their leadership, what they did in the city was illegal, but they thought it was best to attack me and our lawyer. Sophia, hello there. Thanks for all that you guys are doing. Well, you're welcome. Yeah, Janet, I did give the website, told people how to donate because some people did ask, but that was said, and I'm pretty sure I might have that on a recording. So let's kind of start because we've been hanging around here for about 10 minutes now. Does the donate page save our affiliation because I had to re-enter my union? So Carol, one of the things you'll have to do is create an account. And then once you do that, you won't have to do that anymore. But we're going to start working on how to create accounts with the portal. For right now, if you go to the top right, you'll see when you go to donate, there'll be a button that says login. And you can create your login there. But I will do an instructional video soon on how to do that. And then that'll automatically populate when you do. Okay, so everyone, welcome. Today is Friday and it is October 25th, and it has been a really long week. So we started out this week with our rally at City Hall with Councilman Chris Marte, who introduced legislation to protect us, and our bill is Intro 1096 this time. So if you still have an Intro 1099 sign, just turn the 9 into a 6. Which I thought was kind of funny, that it was very close to our our number from last year, 1096. So that is our new legislation. I will make sure if you're, when I send out the email this week, hopefully tonight or tomorrow, I will put the link to the legislation so that you can see what it says. It's the full version of the bill that we put in the first time around before it got suppressed, and we had to strip it down to basically two sentences. But it requires that the city provide us with a Medicare supplement, and doesn't force us into senior care. So we're going to start to advocate for that bill very soon. Next week, we start the strategy for doing so. Okay. So we'll get, more on that. I'll also work on doing the video to educate you how to create an account through our portal so that you don't have to keep entering in your affiliations and your contact information. Also, when will our email campaign to the city council? That's part of strategy, Gerald. So as soon as we work that out, we will let you know. 1096 language is not the same as 1099, Janet. It is the full version of the bill that we initiated the first time. So it's slightly different, but it is from the first draft of the bill that we submitted to Councilwoman Amanda Farias. And then when they gave us all sorts of excuses and gave us as it violates collective bargaining, it's illegal. We stripped it down to two sentences to combat all of that, and it still wasn't good enough for them. And that's when we realized we were being played. So we went back to the full version of the bill. And the interesting part is Justin Brannan had said to me last year, well, you should do the full version of the bill because I would get behind that. And this is the full version of the bill. So I'm hoping, Marianne, he decides to listen and remember what he said. What else? Also, I want to pull up one more thing. So our fundraising goal for 1 week, we hit $37,139 in donations from the 17th to today. So thank you guys very much for helping us jump on our fundraising campaign for this last fundraiser of the year. Camille says they love that faux collective bargaining BS. Yes, they do, Camille. Marcia, Brannon signed on to the old bill, but very late in the process. Yes, and I believe that was because most of the retirees that were in his district were getting behind Ari Kagan, and he did not like that. He was actually very upset that his own constituents were going to Ari's district. So that was a pretty heated election last year, and I think that was probably why. But if he is also now wants to run, or he is running, I think he declared for comptroller. If he wants to be comptroller, he's going to need support from the seniors in this city. So let's see what happens. Brandon said it's deja vu this morning. He did? And he's out of town. Because he was out of town. Don't worry, Gerald. They'll hear from you soon enough. So what else have you guys got for me? Oh, so I put up that video that freaked a few of you out. I don't want it to freak you out. You're being triggered by the people in it. I want you to just breathe through your nose. Yes, you, Gerald. Breathe through your nose and listen to the message. And there's a reason. We're going to start going into the point where we are going to start pressuring elected officials about our intro. You have election day coming up in 15 days? So a lot of them are using the same talking point. Oh, that Project 2025. Well, that's like the big, 800-pound gorilla. And everyone wants to talk about it like it's the boogeyman, right? The point of that video is that the left doesn't like it. The right doesn't like it. No one wants to own it. You have the International Union of AFSCME, for Pete's sake. Lee Saunders saying this will destroy democracy and unionism as we know it. Well, also in Project 2025, and I forget the page number, Gerald, I'm sure you'll remind me, was it like 498? The default plan for Medicare is Medicare Advantage. They want to take every tax-paying American in that stupid program and put them in Medicare Advantage. So, how can our our elected officials who are denouncing that document say that they denounce that document and yet still support the city and the mayor and the speaker and some of these crazy union leaderships forcing retirees into Medicare Advantage? That is the number one default in that document. So that's the point. The left doesn't like it. The right doesn't like it. International Union AFSCME doesn't like it. But then DC 37 is an AFSCME local. It is an AFSCME district council under DC 37 is under AFSCME. So if their leader is saying this is a horrible thing, then why didn't AFSCME punish Henry for trying to push us into Medicare Advantage? The other thing is, in the other video that I did about union accountability, and thank you, Scott, for helping with that information, shows that CSEA statewide put into administratorship Local 830 from Nassau County for the union lying to the electeds that they represented retirees and diminishing healthcare. So now if CSEA statewide could do that to a local, why hasn't AFSCME done that to DC 37? Why hasn't anyone held any of these leaders that did this accountable? Even if it's not a removal or an administratorship, it should be taking them out to the woodshed and have a come to Jesus moment with them as you don't do this. Retirees shouldn't have had to organize and advocate for themselves and educate the leaders of today's unions. They should have known this. This is one of the failures of the labor movement, sadly, is like we don't have a father of labor or a mother of labor to basically educate the leadership as to what their responsibilities are. You don't really see labor education or union history. Which was another thing that Barbara Waldman wanted to raise her points at the meeting, was I shouldn't be talking about these things because I'm not UFT. And I was like, well, sweetheart, I have a labor relations degree. I know what the hell I'm talking about. And that's the difference. Learn because it's important. Posting that video, don't be triggered about who's in it. Listen to the message at the end. The point is to show that no one likes that document. But the speaker or the mayor or Henry or Lee Saunders will denounce it. But they're doing one of the ugliest things in it, is making a default plan Medicare Advantage. Now, you guys have been watching the news lately. This past 2 weeks has been absolutely horrible for Aetna. You've seen they've now fired their second CEO in just a couple months. Their stock prices tanked like 25%. You've got United Healthcare in trouble. All of these things are happening. Another report came out today in Stat News about prior authorizations and how these healthcare companies were saying that they had to do prior authorization and come to your house, those healthy home visits. Let us come to your home and talk to you about healthcare because we really care about you. We want to keep you well. And then they come to your home and they end up upcoding and doing all this crazy stuff to make billions of dollars in profit, but they weren't making you healthier. They didn't do anything to act on the information that they had. They just billed the government more. So it shows a level of greed and scamming seniors and preventing them from having access to healthcare. So this is why we keep fighting this. You got to keep that pressure up. So knowing that we're going to start going into educating people elected again, we want their support. And if they want our vote come election time, no matter what race it is, we're mostly focused locally because that's where we have our power, right? City council, comptroller, mayor. These are the people you can vote for, as well as your state elected, because we're bringing our state bill back in January. use this, because if they've said that they denounced that document, but then they're not doing anything to prevent Medicare from being privatized or protect you from being forced into an MA plan, they're talking out both sides of their mouth. Gerald says politicians aren't supporting us because it's not in their best interest. Their excuse is that it's too expensive or we'll win in court or bogus. The true reason are union campaign contributions and their votes to support them in getting them reelected. Well, used to be that the UFT was the big boogeyman in the room because everyone wanted a UFT endorsement. But from what I understand, UFT endorsements don't really work well. And you're probably right, Gerald. They do just want the campaign cash. But you know what? Retirees can do that too. You have the strength in this issue. And by them forcing you to fund your own protection, they're skirting their responsibility. And you need to remind them of that. I wonder who pushed for unions to be included in the egg whips that can be automatically pushed all beneficiaries into MA, which really seems designed for employer group waiver plans. So egg whip is an employer group waiver plan. And I honestly believe that came from Richard Trumpka, who's now deceased, from AFL-CIO. But I will go fact check that. But if I remember correctly, that's where that came from. Faye had a question before, was one of the attorneys from our firm running for mayor? Let's talk about that. The answer is yes. So Jake Gardner is our attorney, and Jake works for Walden, Mock, Harron, and Williams. The lead partner of that firm is Jim Walden. And he came to us and told us he was interested in running for mayor. Now, we know Jim supports what we're doing, and he supports Jake handling our cases. So he asked us if we would meet with him about his intention to run and if we could consider supporting someone like him. And I said, it's really funny. We put up a couple of weeks ago a poll on our Facebook page asking people how they felt, because of all of the candidates that have stated they would run or declared that they won, there was really only one that had, to some level or some degree, was public about him not supporting Medicare Advantage, and that was Brad Lander. And I understand many people aren't thrilled with Brad as a candidate, but many of you understood that we are a one position, one issue organization. And if it meant that he would end up protecting us, that would be a vote that, you may want to consider casting. I will never tell you how to vote, but I will always, like we did with the city council people, is, introduce you to them and let you choose for yourself. Yes, Anne, I decided to start early because I actually did want to try to get to sleep tonight. But Jim spoke with us the other day, and I'll be speaking with him again tomorrow morning. And he's very interested in making sure that he runs on a platform of the issues. He does not want to declare a party because he doesn't feel committed to a party. And he hasn't been declared to a party, he said, since 2006. I didn't know you could do that, so I'm learning a lot from this. So I don't remember what it's called, unaffiliated voter, I think. So he's looking to see if he could get to meet with all of you. And I said, let's meet first, and then we can try to schedule a Zoom call where you guys could all hear him, talk to him, and see what you think. So we're going to start that process. I want to see Beyonce. Glad you started early. Okay, well, then I'll end early. Camille, let me know what time Beyonce comes on. But yeah, so we're going to look to see that we maybe get behind. We always said, look, we would support the campaign of any candidate that would support retirees. And that gives you a choice, right? That's what I'm hoping for, that you have a choice of people to vote for. Will the UFT finally help support us by covering legal fees from Tuesday's meeting? Paula, that's like a great idea. Why don't you email Michael Mulgrew? It's mmulgrew@uft.org, and ask him, preferably even as a mea culpa from his secretary and former health chair attacking me and our attorney. I don't know. You can even make a donation. When you make your next donation, make it in the name of Michael Mulgrew or Leroy Barr, and we'll report on that. Because they seem to think that we are funded by some insurance corporation, and someone even posted on one of the blogs by the Koch brothers. Like, are you guys smoking crack? You pissed off a whole bunch of retired unionists. I did during the meeting, no response. Oh. Mm. Was Michael there? You, you cracked me up. That's funny. UFOA 854 loves you. Uh, Tommy, now I think you're probably having some gummy bears over there. I don't think they love me. Camille, Walden represented my niece's building against New York City. Yeah, so Jim's firm they advocate for victims. They believe in helping people, and that's what he wants to do. Jim wants to run on the issues. So we're going to talk to him tomorrow, and then I'll report back to you guys and try to schedule an appointment. We have ranked voting in New York City. Jamani Williams has also supported us, and he may run or even temporarily become mayor. We could rank candidates who support us and leave off those who don't, but Walden will have to choose a party. He can be unaffiliated voter, but I'm pretty sure not a candidate without a party. No, I think he can be an independent. He'd probably have to become an independent. He'd have to choose a party, independent, Republican, or Democrat, I believe. I'll find that out tomorrow. But remember, Bloomberg did that. Bloomberg changed parties like he changed underwear. So did this mayor, kind of. Because this mayor was a Republican and then he ran as a Democrat to get elected as Brooklyn Borough president. So that's what I got. If no one has anything else, if Adam resigns, there is an election with no party. There is an election with no party. I think you mean affiliation. Well, and I know that from what I'm hearing is that they don't want to have an early election because if they do, that would entertain Andrew Cuomo coming back. And if you remember, most of the unions asked him to step down with all of the controversy and the sexual assault allegations and all those issues. So no one really wants to see him run again. So they're hoping that this change happens closer to where they would have a general election. You're not registered with either of the two major parties, then you're an independent. Okay. Thanks, Carolyn. What's happening with Adams? I have no idea. It was just before he was on Twitter telling everyone to read the indictment. So I have to go back and look and see if a new indictment came. Because I'm hearing that a new indictment is coming if it didn't come today. But this was a sealed indictment. Bloomberg was a Democrat but ran as a Republican to get on the ballot. Way back when one of the years Ed Koch ran for mayor, he was on both the Democratic and the Republican Party ballots. I didn't know you could run on both tickets. That's interesting. Yes, I'll watch the video meeting. Yeah, and just rerun this. You can go back and rewatch this. And I'll try to get it up on YouTube, if not tonight, tomorrow morning. But it'll be on Facebook. So that's it. Ellen, so glad Jake and Steve filed a class action lawsuit. There is no we didn't file a federal lawsuit on ghost networks. Oh, that other case, yes. This is not our fight, but so great that our legal warriors are getting into the fray. Yeah, so Ellen, there's a connection to that. So Um, we have an issue. There's a couple issues that uh, I am connected to that's not connected to this, but I'm working on behind the scenes with another two issues actually. That one issue is not our issue either, but it's kind of connected to something else, and as like the World Trade Center program. So there's more coming to that in holding insurance companies accountable. I had stopped a couple weeks ago in Letitia James's office because she actually passed a law in New York against ghost networks. And so that's been what's spurring some of this to keep them honest because they're not being honest. Lots of people run on both Democratic and working family parties. Voters can choose the line to vote on. I can't believe the UFT will have a Facebook as well. Oh, so Paula, when I do the email, I will also put a link to the new RTC, Retired Teacher Chapter Facebook page. So for those that are not did not hear that the old it used to be the official chapter really wasn't an official chapter, and I guess there's some politics regarding that, which I'm not going to get into. But Bennett and Jonathan Hallaby put up that they have a new retired teacher chapter Facebook page, and I will put that link in the newsletter that I send out. Doc Rom, Marcia Biederman, of course, lots of judges are endorsed by both major parties. Okay. Good to see you too, David. It's been kind of a whirlwind week. We got a lot done this week. We got a real lot done this week. Um, so for the few people that I do want to thank, especially William Shenton for coming out and speaking at the rally, I always appreciate to hear your story and share that with others. Um, and Mandy from PNHP, Dr. Moore from PNHP, retired Assemblyman Dick Gottfried, thank you, as well as former retired Councilman Barron and his wife, Assembly Member Inez Barron as well. Thank you. And to Chris Marte and Bob Holden for believing in us and supporting our legislation. That is huge. Ellen got into this late, but can we see your talk at the UFT RTC meeting this week? So I don't know if you could see it. I'm hoping that they could put up a video on it or audio. I know some people have told me that they have it, but I have to ask for it. So let me see what I can get. The RTC is forming a new health committee. Yes, we heard about that. I think I heard about that just before they asked me to leave the room. Let's see. Wish Bob Holden would run for mayor. Bob's a really nice guy. You have to request to join the new RTC page and you need your UFT ID number. Okay. I'll make sure I put that in my newsletter. I look radiant. Oh, I did sleep 8 hours last night and I got my hair cut today and it looks curly. Mary, good evening. I'm sorry I missed this talk, but did catch your garden tour early today. It's beautiful. Thank you, Mary. I was trying to get some fresh air when I came back from getting my hair cut. So I think that's it, guys. I don't know what time Beyonce comes on, but you probably want to go get ready for Beyonce. So if you guys don't have anything else, we will start our strategy next week on planning on what to do, what the process will be to reach out to our city council persons about Intro 1096. And once we have that settled, I'll let you know. Ramona Scott, we're only taking one bus. You have to register to come to the trip to Albany. There's very limited space in the courtroom, and the people that are on the bus take first precedent because we are paying for the bus to bring everybody up there. So we are requesting that you do not just show up at Albany. That would be very disrespectful to all the planning that we have done and in putting this together, that for people to come from City Hall all the way to Albany to than be unsat because someone didn't register would be rude. So if you do want to go, even if you had wanted to go on your own, we must know in advance. We have a few seats left, but there's only a few, and that's it. So you need to email us personally. If we have the space, one by one, we will add you to the list. Uh, that's okay, Janet. You can go back and watch this. As soon as it's done, we're wrapping up because I started at 7:30. Barbara, thanks for reminding me. Laura, I missed getting on the stream on time, but thank you, Marianne, for your incredible week you gave us, including the BAI show with Chris. Wasn't that a great show this morning? I had fun doing that show with him. He is wonderful. And you can go back and listen to that too. That's great. So that's all I got, Barbara. I will message you as soon as I hang up here because this will be processing. And thank you. You too. You guys have a good weekend. Listen, guys, keep doing what you're doing. We're obviously having an impact, right? Keep the faith and be true to yourself. Don't give up. Don't let them get you down. And make sure when you go back and you share or watch the video that I posted about that document, it was for a reason. We're not getting involved in national politics. Don't get triggered. We strictly want you to start thinking about the process. Remember, one of the things you guys always think I'm really good at is like this verbal judo, right? Where people, I can always say something and you tell me I should have been a lawyer. My mom used to say that all the time. I'm really good arguer. I'm really good at verbal fighting. But when someone tries to tell you that they don't approve of something, but then you're going, their actions don't match. Like when Mulgrew said that he withdrew his support for Medicare Advantage and but what is he doing about it? It's like don't just tell me something, show me. But then if your actions aren't in line with what you're saying, you've got to call that out. This is where your power comes from, and this is why Vinny and Michael and Leroy and Barbara and Nina all hate me, is because first of all, I'm Italian and I remember every damn thing that person says. Like, you think that meme from Marissa Tomei is not real? It's real. It's like there's shit that I remember like this. If they're lying to me for some reason, that's like engraved in my brain. So you have to call that out. Call it out. So if they're saying to you, like, here's Lee Saunders, telling this thing where he doesn't support this project because it will destroy unionism, then why are you allowing Henry Garrido to impose one of the baseline healthcare default plans onto us? And they also, for those of you not AFSCME keeps sending out text messages and emails and mailers about donating to AFSCME People's Money. AFSCME has not given us any money. AFSCME People Money is supposed to protect Medicare and Social Security. You will not see them in our database. They have not donated to this organization. That might be something we start as a campaign to Ann Widger, who's the administrator of DC 37 Retiree, since they kicked out all the people that were trying to help, and Lee Saunders next week, and telling them that they should be donating to us. And if I remember that, I'll put that in the newsletter too. He just wants to get reelected next year, and then if he does, it will be back on. My Italian mother would have loved you. I know, it's a curse. From Karen, so true. Calabrese here. We don't forget. And we don't. That's why, people joke about pissing off an Italian woman. Dang. I know, it's crazy. You are actually doing what lawyers do, which is show with logic when a party to a case uses an argument that's in opposition to what they originally argued. No good under the law. Thank you, Ellen. I worked a senior health fair today, and I was asked several times if I knew who you were. I chuckled and said, hell yeah, I know who you are and how amazing. Oh, you're sweet, Marie. That's awesome. So keep the faith, guys. Remember, you just got to keep pummeling them with facts. Gerald, my wife is Italian. See? I'm telling you, Gerald. So listen, you guys take care of yourself this weekend. Go do something fun. Yes, Serena Mia, you should still be phone banking for Stacy. If you guys signed up to do phone banking, you should have continued to do it. You keep doing it. Contact is with Dan, not with me. Dan was the one that was leading that. So don't stop, keep it going. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you for all your donations. I'll post the new thermometer this weekend when I have a chance. I'll be putting out the newsletter as well, probably tomorrow because I think I really want to go to sleep. And I got a cold bar brush. So you guys have a great weekend. Thank you for all that you do. Thanks for believing when I did that call to come out to City Hall without telling you why. Thank you for following me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being there and for all of your support. Now get a good rest this weekend because next week we got some butt to kick. So love you guys. See you soon. Ciao. Have a great weekend.